and welcome back to Sprouts and Microgreens. In this short video, I'd like to briefly share with you about my experience of how I got started with Sprouts and Microgreens. You see, obviously I haven't done this my whole life. In fact, this is something rather new for me. Today is short after Christmas, the year 2015, and it all started this year. And it all started early this year when I was living in Las Vegas, Nevada, entertainment capital of the world, home of the all-you-can-eat buffets, all kinds of international foods, parties, drinks, and all kinds of things that you can imagine that we can eat on the road. We have it over there, and it's amazing. It's a lot of fun. And I was enjoying myself. And I was working most of my time on the Strip area, and I was basically, due to my work, I was forced to eat 2 or even 3 meals a day out on the road, on all those wonderful restaurants, buffets, etc., etc. And I enjoyed myself very much. But unfortunately, it was creating a problem for me. It was killing myself very slowly. In fact, maybe not too slowly, a little too fast. Because you see, from January to May, in those 5 months, I gained about 50 pounds. And obviously created a very serious impact in my body and in my health. And by June, July, beginning of August, I was already weighing about 350 pounds. Not to mention I was very sick. I couldn't continue that lifestyle. It was killing me a lot faster than I wanted. So I had to find an alternative, a real alternative, because you see, taking pharmaceutical pills was not a real option for me. So I was lucky enough to be offered an option to go to the Ann Wigmore Institute. My mother was more familiar with the institute, and she invited me to go over with her, and we took the 2 weeks course where they taught us in details what are the foods that are creating the problems in our bodies and why. And they teach you all this theory, and then they teach you the alternative of the practice of Sprouts and Microgreens. And the reason is because they know that Sprouts and Microgreens are the richest form of nutrition known to man. You see, nothing is richer in nutrition than Sprouts and Microgreens, and they know it. And they teach you all of this theory, and they teach you all of this practice, and then they send you home where you're expected to do your homework. So they're going to only teach you the basics, and I recommend everybody that can actually afford to go there, financially speaking and in time, to actually go to the Ann Wigmore Institute. They're really nice, and they know the real knowledge, and they can teach you everything you need to do, and then so you can then go home and do your homework. And so I did, and instead of going back to the desert climate, which is great, but it's not too great for sprouting, although it's still possible, I came to Miami, where all the humidity is actually great for sprouting, and I've been practicing since I got here with different seeds, different grains, nuts and beans, and it's been a great journey. You see, I didn't stop cold turkey right away, because we are addicted to all these processed or cooked foods, all the sugars. So it was actually a hard process. But as soon as you get started with these and you increase your intake of organic raw food or living foods, as they call it, you're gonna stop craving these other foods. Before I went to Puerto Rico, I would say I was eating about maybe less than 5% of organic raw food in my diet. And now I'm easily up to 80% of all kinds of organic raw food, including Sprouts, Microgreens, and some of the drinks that I make, such as soy milk, almond milk, hazelnut milk, Rejuvelac, which is a cabbage fermented drink that is very rich in probiotic, very good for the digestive system, and all of these things that you can make at home. And not to mention, all of these things are economically more affordable than whatever foods you eat there. So this is actually, I would say, the cheapest way of eating. Even the dollar food that you can find on the road, this is cheaper than that. This is way better. It tastes delicious, and the more you eat it, the less you crave all the sugars and processed foods and chemicals and things that are actually causing the problem. So this has been my experience, and I have to say that since I started, I've lost easily about 20 plus pounds, and that is without working out. So that proves that this is the real way of eating. And the truth is that in the first 2-3 months it was kind of hard, you know, slowly progressing through changing from the old diet to this new way of living. And now that I'm about 80% of my food, I think I'm going to see the fastest results in losing weight and feeling stronger, because I have been feeling good already. I feel great. I don't feel sick anymore. I have a lot of weight to lose, but at least I don't feel sick, and that is a huge improvement. But I know that this year, 2016, now that I'm at this point where most of my food intake is this kind of food, I'm gonna experience a great improvement in my life and in my body, and that is why I'm doing this series. And along, this series, as we record new videos during the next year, where you're going to be seeing my progress, and it's all due to these foods. So I hope you enjoyed too. Thank you for listening about my experience. I hope maybe you can relate to it, and we're all on the same boat, and anything that I can do to help and share with you my experience, I'll be more than glad. So if you have any questions or comments, please write them down, and thanks again for watching.